And now let's welcome to the ring from Liverpool, England. Undefeated with 10 wins, 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mikey the Omen Talon.
Here comes the Omen, Mikey Talon, trained by Joe Gallagher. Great news. We got a couple of weeks ago that Joe Gallagher's now been given the all clear. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is.
Really is good.
Fantastic. Amazing. Amazing.
But on Mikey Talon, a lot of people excited about him. Flyweight, can punch, can bang, very fast, got everything, hasn't he?
He really has. Very, very quick, as you can imagine. Someone down at these weights, but technically very good. Punches correctly, turns the hits into it. I think he actually punches harder than his record suggests. Only the one stoppage. I think he's going to develop into a bit of a puncher.
Nothing wrong with that.
and he's been on the road. You know, he's ticking a lot of boxes already after 10 fights.
You know, and what you said, Darren, though, whatever range you're at, he's quite effective in that range, isn't he? So he's a big and tall for his weight. So he's really good when he punches from long distance. But he can fight inside quite apt when you come forward. He can get that mid-range uppercut through the middle really well, and yeah, he's a pretty good fighter all round it.
And I like him. He's spiteful. When he lets his shots go, he's aggressive. He really has a fan-friendly style when he really wants to impress. And Joe Gallagher, what a man to have in your corner. So yeah, he's well-rounded. He's got everything in his favour here.
Will he be nervous? I always sort of think about fighting. He will be now.
Yeah, and he's got an amateur pedigree, you know. So he's been around. He knows how to box. He's experienced the big moments already as a pro, being in Las Vegas last time out, and as an amateur. But this is a massive occasion, a stadium fight, Barry.
Do you mean nervous for Saturday or nervous for now?
Even nervous for now. Even nervous for now with the crowd. Again, I mean, he would never have that many cameras just focusing on him, would he?
It's a new experience for almost everybody, except for the top of the bill. Even things like this. These things are things that never happen in almost every era. So you will be a tad nervous, a little bit apprehensive, but also, like on fight night, those nerves give you a little bit of sharpness.
He's not showing much here, by the way. When he fights, completely different. He really goes through the gears, and he's like I say, aggressive, a spiteful individual who, yeah, he's fan-friendly. I think he's going to win a lot of fans Saturday night.
It just appears to me that everyone now is getting bigger in the weight classes. I look at him and I think he's a flyweight. And I know he's got to still cut a few pounds off, but he's going to rehydrate to become really big. But he's actually pretty tall for a flyweight.
He is. I mean, you're talking about dropping down to 175, so that you'd be a big light heavyweight, wouldn't you?
168 even, maybe.
Oh, monster.
But I think that's just the way people eat and live nowadays. They eat better and they understand more about diets and nutrition. So where before you just used to sweat the weight off, now they know how to work it properly.
And there's something else that comes with that, is longevity. You're seeing fighters fight weigh-ins. I mean, you mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, some of those names that you mentioned and the age that they are is phenomenal. And it just shows you that what sports science is playing.
There you go. I think that could be it for Mikey Talon.
Thank you very much to the undefeated Mikey the Omen Talon. Our next two fighters competing Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant British and Commonwealth Super Welterweight Championships. Let's first welcome to the ring the challenger from Leeds, Yorkshire, England. His professional record, 14 wins, 3 defeats. 6 of his 14 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ishmael, the Black Panther Davis.
This is a guy who genuinely, I believe, will fight anyone. Like, if given, you know, the correct numbers on the check, will get in the ring, regardless of restrictions about time and weight, and will fight anyone. But now it starts for me. He's had those 3 fights against Boychuk, Josh Kelly, Kevin Ajako. I think now almost as a reset.
Yeah.
Like you can't just say I'm going to fight anyone and lose.
Yeah, it's not.
You've got to start winning now.
Exactly that. It's all good taking the big fights and earning money, etc. But if you want your career to continue, you've got to start winning these big fights. And this is a good matchup for him and both, to be honest with you. Ishmael Davis, a very good fighter, game as they come, physically so strong. You see him on Saturday night when he's got his top off. He's a man mountain, he really is. And yeah, he's improving all the time.
Familiar faces here ringside for a big fight week, including former IBF World Flyweight Champion Mr. Sonny Edwards. Sonny, great to see you. First of all, for those who don't quite know, what is your role behind the scenes in the career of Ishmael Davis?
Well, I'm part of the management team. There is a couple of us. You've got Mark Bateson, who brought him into the pro game. Me and Lee Eaton as well. We work together with Ish, delivering him the opportunities. And look, no job too big or too small. Anything he needs, whether I'm putting in a spit bucket, helping out him with his kit, helping him with glove sponsors, anything and anything that I can do with my network and my 20 years of boxing experience. But yeah, for the most part, I'm the spit bucket boy this week.
Well, listen, you're doing a great job. Just talk about delivering this man opportunities. Look how his life has changed over the last couple of years. Wembley Stadium on late notice against Josh Kelly, Windsor Park in a big fight against Kevin Ajako, and now here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the British and Commonwealth titles. What do you admire about that attitude?
Well, the conversation we had when he first asked me to be involved with his management, he went, look, please get me off the small hall shows. I don't want to go back to Ellen Road. Funnily enough, his last fight a month ago was back at Ellen Road. So I think that's perfectly fitted just for his British title shot to get back in the winning column. But look, Ish takes every single fight that's been put to him, from, you know, weights above 6 days notice to 2 weeks notice at world level to away in the corner against someone far experienced in Ajako. He's taken every single opportunity, every single fight. Doesn't matter where they are, when they are, he's always ready to go. And you know, to work for a friend and a fighter like that, it's a very easy job for me, if I'm perfectly honest. He will get in the ring, he will play himself in camp meticulously every single time, and he gets in the ring and he puts his absolute all in. He's still learning on the job, he's still developing as a fighter. In the grand scheme of things, any boxer that's been in the ring less than 20 times is a what? A novice. He's a novice at world level, and he's been giving fighters that are meant to be way better than him absolute hell. Where the last time out I was shocked that we didn't win, if I'm honest, and even Josh Kelly, the first step up, I genuinely thought we won that fight. He puts himself in the position, and if he don't win the night, I think he wins the heart of the fight fans. The organic support he has from people up and down the country, around the world, you can genuinely feel it and see it. And to be a part of his team has been a pleasure, and I'm rooting for him. And if he ends the year as British champion, he's put all of those steps right, and I have full belief, and so do the rest of the team, that he's going to do just that on Saturday night.
Well, best of luck this week, Sonny. Will we see this man back in the boxing ring next year? Who knows?
Sonny Edwards there with Jamie Ward. Sonny Edwards, who there are whispers about him maybe making a comeback. Maybe.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
You got to shift a couple of pounds there, man.
A couple. Up next in the ring is going to be Sam Gilly, who takes on Ishmael Davis. Remember, British and Commonwealth 154-pound titles up for grabs in that one.
And now let's welcome the defending champion. From Walthamstow, London, England. His professional record consists of 18 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw. 9 of his 18 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending Commonwealth Super Welterweight Champion, Sam Magic Man Gilly.
Who else is called the Magic Man?
Malinaji.
And
Antonio Salva.
Well done. Sam Gilly entering the ring now. Sam Gilly's got so much support, and look, he's brought the biggest support here with him as well. There isn't anyone in this building more famous than the man I'm going to bring in to the set now. International
Good
superstar.
to see you, man. How are you?
How are you, Ollie?
How you guys? Good to see you. Really good, mate. Really good, yeah.
Excited or nervous for Sam?
bit of everything really. I think for Sam, he's worked so hard. So to come here and be a part of this massive card, you know, he's fought a lot of York Hall.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest fight of his career right now.
Yeah.
And he looks hungry, he looks, I don't know, he looks a different Sam this week.
A bit more motivated? Motivated a bit more?
Yeah, and I think he's motivated. I think being at Tottenham, he's a big Tottenham fan. Like I said, I just got to the hotel now, he just looks different. He looks focused. The last fight, he didn't look dialed in enough. I think this fight, he looks good.
First off, you're looking fit. Well, when you fighting?
I mean, I train a lot. I love boxing. I watch a lot of you guys on TV. Maybe one day, you know, the Misfits thing, you never know.
He's in.
Quickly, with Sam, you've seen him in the gym. Away from the technique side of things and tactical side of things, with his temperament, what's impressed you most?
You know what? When he's dialed in and he's in, like most boxers, when they're in their camp and he's there, he's so disciplined, so focused, and the environment in the gym is just fun. It's fun. It's bubbly. That's why we're all here tonight. You know, he just wants it. I was interested in me upstairs watching all the other fighters, and everyone's so different in their preparation for it. You know, I've never been involved in anything like this, but you can see everyone's different. Sam he wants people around him. He wants that fun, and when it's like that, you get a dangerous Sam, and that's why I'm really excited about this. This is what Sam was like when he beat Louis Green. This is what he was like when he beat Jack McGuigan. So he looks dialed in this week. His weight looks good. He looks fresh. He looks sharp. So yeah, I mean, I can't speak highly enough, really.
His fight against Drew Brown in the York Hall was arguably the best fight I've seen in the York Hall. That's going to him. It was an absolute war. He doesn't look like, because he's tall, you think he'd be an out-and-out boxer, but he's at his most dangerous when he's hurt, isn't he? When like, he loves to tear up Sam.
No, and that's the thing with Sam. Every fight I've seen Sam, I've known Sam for about 4 years now, and every fight I've seen him in, it's been a war. Jack McGuigan was probably, I wouldn't say his easiest fight, it was a tough fight, but he trolled it. He just outclassed Jack McGuigan for me. Yeah. But the Louis Green fight was a war, and I think this weekend it's going to be. Yeah. You know, Ishmael Davis is no good fight. You know, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be. I think from round 1 to 12, it's going to be a real tough one.
What got you into this? What started the relationship with Sam? What got you into boxing, Ollie?
You know what? I used to play football a lot, and my knees weren't great anymore, so I needed to find something else to get into, and actually being a singer and a performer and touring a lot, boxing, them 3-minute rounds in boxing really helped me as a performer, as a singer, to be able to dance and perform in between rounds and between songs. So it really helped me, and me and Sam and being in that, you know, when footballers leave football, they say they miss that dressing room.
Yeah.
And I don't know about fighters, you probably miss the gym and being around people.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, and so for me, being in the gym with all these guys, they're all a bit like me, a little bit mad.
So going by your theory, we can be singing.
You could be singing. Exactly that. I mean, I've got away with it for all these years. But no, that was how we formed a relationship. And I'll be honest with you, when I first walked in the gym, I thought,
bit daunting.
I'm not sure about this. I mean, it completely took me out of my comfort zone. You know, I'm a pop star that sings pop songs. And when you walk into a gym, you don't hear Ollie Murs songs. So I was a bit like, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but from the day one with Sam and the guys, it was brilliant. I love it. And they keep me grounded. We have laughs, we joke a lot, and I love the training.
I thought you were going to say, what got you into boxing was me following you around the security in the X Factor all those years ago.
Exactly. Exactly.
You don't remember him, so
he does.
I do.
So
very quickly, go on.
I was going to say, so with the dancing then, I guess watching you in the gym, you must be a bit of a mover.
You know what? I thought my footwork would be good. And that's what Sam said to me. He said, mate, what we need to work on is your footwork. And he goes, be fine with you because you're a really good dancer. And that's probably for me, learning boxing, it's all good throwing your jabs and your right and your straights, but it's the footwork for me which was really hard. So actually, no, I was awful at it.
Barry can't sing either.
Before I let you go, Eubank Benn, who nicks it? What are you thinking?
You know what? I'm a bit of the underdog for me. I've always been an underdog in my own career, and I just really would love to see Ben win.
One apiece.
And I don't know. Again, you watch things on social media, you can't read too much into it. Yeah. You know, they're two great fighters, two different styles, but what I love about Ben is just something, he just looks more dialed in, something different in his demeanour, I think. And I met Conor about a year ago now, before the first fight, and he was just such a humble, lovely guy. And I just thought, he came in the gym again, I thought it was Conor Benn, you know, he's got this sort of aura about him a little bit. And I thought, oh, you know, how's he going to be? But he was so lovely. Come and spoke to me about boxing and made me feel really welcome. So, yeah, I'm Team Ben.
Ollie, top man, coming to a Misfit screen soon. Let's try that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, the big boys of boxing will be in action. Our next two fighters will be competing in a scheduled 10-round contest for the vacant Commonwealth Silver Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome to the ring from Brighton, England. He is undefeated with 16 wins. 9 of his 16 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Tommy Hellboy Welch.
Here comes Tommy Welch. Again, a man that's been asking for an opportunity, Barry. He's got one, not just because it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but he's fighting someone that the public know in Richard Riakporhe. If he gets a win, it's a massive, massive scalp for him.
It really is, and you know, to be fair, he's been screaming for a big fight, and he really has. And you know, I've covered quite a bit of his career, and he's a really clever boxer, this Tommy. I don't think he's not naturally big enough, I think, for the big heavyweights. But getting Riakporhe now as a new heavyweight, you know, only his second fight in the division, no, might be the right time here for Tommy Welch. If he got his dad's toughness, then he got a really, really good chance. I mean, at some point he's going to have to be able to have Scott Welch's toughness. It'd be interesting to know what Scott thinks about that.
All right, let's hear it from Scott Welch. He's ringside with Jamie Ward.
Yeah, here ringside with the Brighton Rock, of course, for the British Commonwealth and WBO World Heavyweight title challenger, Mr. Scott Welch. His son, Tommy Welch, in action, of course, on Saturday night. Scott, great to see you. How's your son looking? How pleased have you been with training camp and how everything's gone?
I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. We're in a great place and we'll be ready. As we said, we'll be ready.
You built up nicely to 16-0, but why would you believe now was the right time to really go for it and take the leap of faith?
Well, I think we've been ready for a while, but you know, the opportunity has come up to be on this show, so it's been hard for us to get on these shows. You know, we've been trying and being kind of like come up against one thing or another, and it hasn't happened, so now it's all fell into place, and we're in a good place. We're ready.
Listen, you've been to the top of the sport, but how do you control your nerves when you're watching your son fight?
Listen, I'm a trainer now, not a father, so it's good. I can deal with that. I deal with it all the time.
And in terms of what is in front of you as well, Scott, Richard Riakporhe's second fight up at heavyweight, Billy Nelson, a trainer you know well as well. What do you know about the challenge, but more importantly, how do you see your son coming through this fight?
Listen, what we're dealing with in Richard is a lot of experience, good, strong man, moving into the heavyweight division, but he's 35 years old. I don't know many heavyweights that come into the game at 35 years old. Yeah, he's sparred Broccoli and he's sparred this one and sparred that one, but on Saturday night you'll see exactly why at 35 years old, coming into the heavyweight division ain't the best idea.
Scott, love to see it, great to see you. Best of luck this weekend.
There you go, Tom Welch. There you go, Scott Welch with Jamie Ward. Always speaks well to Scott Welch. For everything he did in boxing, and he not overachieved, but I think he really went to the highest of the highs. I mean, that scene in Snatch where he knocked out Brad Pitt and Brad Pitt floats in the air. I mean, come on, that was just fantastic stuff.
It was. It wouldn't have happened in real life, though. Tell you that much. I mean, when he had to box Henry Akawandi for the world title, that was what a nightmare he was. Yeah.
What a nightmare acting one day was, you're right.
Like a
massive
body, he had the body like a box, and like an arms as long as a motorway. It's unbelievable.
Incredible. All right, that was Tommy Welch. Let's bring in his opponent now, Richard Riakporhe.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Walworth, London, England. His professional record, 18 wins, just 1 defeat. 14 of his 18 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Richard the Midnight Train Riakporhe.
Richard Riakporhe, a man that I think can cause some damage in the heavyweight division. How much damage, I guess we have to wait and see, right? We're only going to know when he takes those steps up. Favourite to get the win on Saturday. How much of a statement does he have to make the real big boys take notice?
Do you know what? I think first and foremost, he needs to win. But yes, I think if he was to get to Welch late in the contest and get a stoppage, that would be impressive for me. Anything other than that is exceptional, in my opinion. You know, Welch really fancies this. I guess he's the naturally bigger out of the two, you could say. But I really do believe this man moving up to heavyweight, albeit though Scott believes 35 too old, I think it's the correct move. He said, didn't he, Barry, yesterday, how much cruiserweight was absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, and you can see by the size of him, certainly in his first fight, when he took his top off, how big his chest was, not just his, the height of the man, how thick he was. I think, because even though he's quite raw, and you're right when you said that earlier on, he does the 1-2 straight. The straight punch he does quite correct and neat. And I think for the heavyweight, if you can do those 1-2 left hook neat, I mean, you're practically there already, aren't you? Because of the power factors, you know.
Klitschko.
Yeah, exactly. If you keep him straight, which he does very well, and he punches down the line with his power, if he carries that power up, he's going to be a problem for everybody.
Do some cruiserweights have an issue with not knowing what weight to be as a heavyweight? We've seen a Cody go 260. We've seen Usyk do the 222 thing, right? Some are 240. He's obviously around the 230, 240 mark. Is that an issue, not knowing what weight you're going to be?
I think they have to gradually keep putting on weight and stop at some point, where they need the mobility, but also they got to put the weight down, because you've got to be able to absorb the weight and the power. I mean, the issue for all the cruiserweights moving up in me is, can he take the punch? I mean, ultimately, because they hit so hard, even the ones who are not punches hit hard this weight. So if he can absorb the shots, he's a force. If he can't, it's a problem. But putting on that weight's right, because you want the weight to be strong, but not to tie you down and tire you out. And getting used to training at that weight, Darren, is the biggest part.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Vandy Holyfield, Alexander Usyk moving up from cruiserweight, they had good chins, and that's held him in good stead. But yeah, what a great experiment to have to make. What weight to go up to.
Yeah.
You know, never had the beauty of being able to do that, but you'll find the sweet spot at some point, and that all will be in the gym, and then how that translates on fight night.
But then David hit his peak. You know, he didn't put on too much. He put on a lot, but he didn't go too much. He needed that explosiveness and that speed. So it's down to your style. I think for his size and the way he punches correct, he's not a guy who you think about speed. He's a guy you think about power and form. So I think he can afford to put on a lot of bulk.
And I guess we're seeing in the heavyweight division, the land of the giants is almost coming to an end.
I think so.
If you look at Wardley, Atoma, they're not the biggest anymore, are they? They're not Zhang and Bakoli.
Torres is one, another is not huge,
not that big.
Yeah.
And they generate all their power from that speed and accuracy. You know, it's not that thunderous power anymore. I mean, even Deontay Wilder, he delivered his shots, they were wild, but they were quick. Yeah, exactly.
But I like Riakporhe. I gotta say, it doesn't matter about the fight, but with him and Welch, two really respectful young men, and they are. They gotta be honest.
And with a coach now that knows how to train, we've said this before, a heavyweight. Martin Bakoli, Billy Nelson now.
Well, Billy won't get too clever. Billy will go, listen, you know what you do is good. We just work on that. And we get your technique spot on. That's all it'll be. Get your technique spot on, and not get too extravagant with what you need to do. 1-2 left hookers. All he needs is to do that correctly, and you got a good chance.
Yeah, if he does win on the weekend, that Lawrence Okoli fight can be reignited. They were supposed to meet at cruiserweight, supposed to meet at heavyweight, and both of them fell through, so there's a good chance.
Our next two fighters competing Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Super Lightweight Championship. Let's first welcome to the ring, coming to us from Duarte, California, USA. He brings a professional record of 18 wins, just one defeat, with 16 of his 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Kurt Scoby.
Almost the unknown to British fight fans, Kurt Scoby, but American fight fans will know him very, very well. Was impressed a lot in the last couple of years, fighting on the OTX, the smaller shows that the Zone put on all over America. And he took this opportunity with both hands. Says you don't need to get ready when you are ready. Be interested to see what he can do, Darren.
Yeah, saying all the right things yesterday, and me and Barry pointed out he's a good fighter, and he's improved a lot since that one single defeat. He's a big puncher, physically very strong, and like I say, what I was hearing, look at the shape of the man. Incredible, and he's going to have to be, Barry, because Adam Azim's a very good fighter.
Yeah, a bit of a show off as well, like, taking his top off. No need for that, to be honest. I didn't take my top off, did I? I mean, he's good. He does the fundamentals quite well. Like I said earlier, he's massively improved. And that right hand of his, the timing of that right hand, more than the power, is a really good weapon.
All right, so many keen observers at ringside. Obviously, Shane McGuigan here alongside Adam Azim, and he is ringside with Jamie Ward.
Yeah, of course, trainer of Adam Azim, Mr. Shane McGuigan in the house as well here this evening. Shane, great to see your opponent change due to face Daryl Abdullayev in the build-up to this one. How pleased were you with how Adam accepted that and moved straight into this fight, new opponent?
Yeah, I mean, this is a completely different fight to Abdullayev. I mean, Abdullahev's been a world champion, this guy hasn't. But he's equally as dangerous and will pose a lot of problems. So, yeah, you see him there, he's a well-muscled lad, he's a good athlete, used to be a good NFL player apparently when in his youth. So, sometimes when they're not that credible in boxing, they can still cause problems because of their athleticism. So we got to be switched on, but Adam wants to be the best in the world. That's the most important thing. And you know, you got to get past all comers, and this guy will be no different.
How pleased have you been also with how he's handled this week so far? Kurt Scoby's had a little bit to say. We hear there was maybe a little altercation in the hotel, but that's a new challenge in itself, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, this is a nice challenge that you have to go for it at this level before you reach world titles, you know, so I think he's a couple of fights away, 1 or 2 fights away from being a world champion, and you know, it's nice to get a loudmouth American, and you know, he's just got to go out there and not play into his hands, got to go out there and do what he needs to do and get the victory, and I believe he will. 23
years old, 13-0. What percentage change do you think we've seen of Adam Azim in those 13 fights?
I think, like, from a boxing standpoint, he's nearly there. It's just experience. You know, he's going to progress as when he fills out into maybe 147 as well. I think you're probably going to see the best Adam Azim when he's 147. But he's a frightening talent. I've been banging on for a long time about how good this kid is, and you know, hopefully Saturday night, new audience to Zone, you guys get a chance to witness it.
Just finally, big fight, of course, to take care of, but Dalton Smith, that's the fight that's been spoken about for so long. He's in a world title fight against Sabril Macias next year. All going well. Could we see it next year?
100%. It's a fight that needs to happen. You know, we've been brewing it nicely, as each team's. Do you know what I mean? So. Sabril Macias is no joke. I think Dalton might be getting him at the right time. I think he needs to make a dent on him early in the fight. Not go looking for it, but I think if he makes a dent on him, he can allow the fight to be boxed at his pace. And I've got full confidence that Dalton will win. And then that just sets up an even bigger matchup down the line.
Oh, man, Shane, good luck this week as well. Good to see you.
Shane McGuigan always speaks well, doesn't he? Obviously, trainer of Adam Azim. Hopefully, Adam Azim comes through this one. You heard it there. Potentially, we get a Dalton Smith fight in 2026. All right, let's continue on with the media public workouts. Let's prep Thomas Tribal.
And now let's welcome to the ring, from Slough, England, undefeated with 13 wins, 10 of his 13 wins come by way of knockout. Ranked number 10 by Ring Magazine, here is Adam the Assassin Azim.
Here comes Adam Azim, hot prospects. Really is. A lot of people have been talking about this young man for a couple of years. And let's see what he can do against, again, a different type of proposition in Kurt Scoby. Someone that's going to come and bring it to him. Not going to stand off. Someone that's maybe physically stronger than him as well. Let's see what he can do against that type of opposition, Darren.
Yeah, and I think he wants to get in there with all sorts. He understands he's learning and wants to tick the boxes, wants to gain that experience, yeah, but he carries frightening speed. He really does. Not just with his hands, but his reactions, his speed of foot. And it generates so much power from it. His confidence is through the roof, and rightly so. Last time out against Livanitz, I thought he was very good. Just systematically broke Livanitz down, and the shot selection, the uppercuts, the hooks, shots. I mean, every single shot in his artillery. A very impressive fighter, Barry.
Yeah, well, I think when he won the European title, he stayed at that level for a couple of fights, and I think that gave him the apprenticeship that you need. It doesn't matter how many fights he had, the apprenticeship you need to move up to the next level. Against Lipton, I'd say, is just world class, but just maybe slipping off it a little bit. We always thought that he would win, but not in that sort of fashion. To stop him to win was okay. You expect that. To stop him was a statement. And the way he just blasted through him at his own pace. And I think that's going to be the biggest problem here for Scoby, is how he deals with the speed and the power within that speed from Azim. Because he's not just fast hands, he's thoughtful, isn't he? He takes time to pick his shots, he doesn't just throw. He's not like Amir Khan, who was brilliant, by the way, but Amir Khan was blind speed, 100 miles an hour. He thinks about his punches before he lets them go, and with that, you get the power. With the power, you get danger.
Barry pointed it out as Adam got into the ring, Darren. Physically, you look at his back, and he's putting on size as well. Obviously, he's maturing at 140 pounds. He's clearly going to go up to 147 sometime soon, but physically, maybe he's got enough to kind of push Scoby back. Maybe it isn't just a boxing match. Yeah. Maybe he can compete physically.
Well, we just heard there, Shane McGuigan saying the best Azim will be at 147, and you can see with the frame that he has. Just quite technically, I think an issue for Scoby, not just the speed comparison, but he fights out of an almost a Philly shell, and he carries the lead hand low, and I think someone with a hand speed of Azim, that could be dangerous, because he'll stab the jab into the body, he'll look for the rear hand over the top, and yeah, I mean, again, I keep saying it all the time, but the speed that this man has, we don't know about him as a full package as world class, but I'm telling you now, the speed is world class.
What is it you want to see? Again, just sticking with that theme of we don't know if he's got the full package yet. In order to get that full package, what do we need to see?
There's all the checks in it. The chin check, the heart check. You know, when you're in university, how you cope with that when things are not working out. You know, the think on your feet. All these things, you don't need to see them, but until you've seen them, you don't know if they have it. I mean, some fighters are too good to never show it, but at some point, you're going to have it, and I'm sure he does. We've seen a little bit of, like, where he's been frustrated, and he's had to sort of, like, learn on the job, and that's been a good learning experience for him, but we haven't seen him, you know, be all over the place. We haven't seen him, you know, when he hits people, they always shy away. I think, listen, I think what Shane was saying, he's up against a guy who's not at the same level as Abdelav, but he is still boxing a guy who's dangerous and very athletic, so he has to be aware of who's in front of him, but I do think that he can push him back with the jab, and if he pushes it, if Scoby back, Scoby's going to have nice work.
Can I put you both on the spot? Can I put you, do you mind?
I know what you're going to ask. You know what I'm going to ask?
Yeah. I'm going to ask you.
It's a fantastic fight. Toss of a coin. I mean, I'm a big fan of Dalton Smith. I like the way that he tucks up. I love the way that he works the body. This man's hand speed, again, to point out, is exceptional. And something else to piggyback off the back of what Barry said there, knowing what you have as a world-class fighter. I think the ability to be able to adapt to different styles and change game plans when things aren't going your way. And I think with Shane McGuigan, they are very meticulous with game plans and being able to change them when they need be. I
would say that though Dalton Smith is probably a little bit ahead of him right now in development, and obviously with age as well, maturity, I think that Azim's style is all wrong for Dalton Smith. I'm not saying Dalton Smith can't beat him, but he's that good. But I think his style, Azim's style, is not the style that he needs.
I hope it doesn't sort of build up to a calm situation or a whip to happen, and we never get to see him until it's too late.
It's a different generation now. I don't think that's going to allow that anymore. Yeah. And also,
now, right?
they're not as big a names as they are, so they can't afford to not do the fight. That's the truth of it. The money for them is in that fight.
Yeah, it's a big fight. Let's hope it happens. Obviously, for that to happen, that man you're seeing on your screens, that Azim, has to get past Scoby on Saturday. And let's not forget Dalton Smith's a real Matthias, start of the year as well, world title fight. So both have big hurdles in front of them. Again, lapping it up as he should. The photographers are there. But a very, very good fighter, Azim. I'm happy he's on this card as well, because his last fight in the undercard of the Callum Simpson fight got pulled. So It does feel like we haven't seen him for a while.
And like I said to him yesterday, it was so good when I was watching the Conor Benn, Eubank Jr. first fight back, and you can see him a few rows back, Azim, and now he's here, he's on the bill, he's fighting, he'll want to turn some heads. You know, these guys, as good as they are, and they're striving to be world champions himself and Thornton Smith, to name the other one, they still want to be building that big fan base.
Indeed they do. All right, it's time for our chief support. Let's go back to Thomas Schreiber.
Our next two fighters competing Saturday in our chief support in a 12-round contest. It will be for the WBO Global Welterweight Championship. Let's first welcome to the ring the defending champion from Nottingham, England. His professional record, 22 wins, just 1 defeat, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked number 10 by Ring Magazine, here is Ekow the Engine Essuman.
By the way, as Ekow Essuman is making his ring walk, there was a bit of commotion ringside between Azim and Scoby. It's got emotional between these two all week, and it's going to be fiery throughout the rest of the week. We're all waiting for heat between Eubank and Benn. The heat is now there between Azim and Scoby. Hopefully we get a word from Azim with Jamie Ward to find out exactly what happened there. A lot of fire between these two boys.
Well, Scoby was waiting for him yesterday, wasn't he? When he was on the stage, waiting outside, waiting for him to walk down and had to be separated then. But then it looked like it was a little bit of a verbal exchange and some pushing going on as well on the camp.
All right, let's see if we can find out exactly what happened. Jamie Ward was in the mix. He's with Azim now. Jamie, what was going on there?
Yeah, certainly a little bit of commotion there, Adam, when you were making your way out of the ring with Scoby. Just tell us what happened from your perspective.
He just standing there saying, I'm the bigger guy. Those monsters ain't going to do nothing. Most of these champions, Terence Crawford, Canelo, you got Javante, you got Ryan, they all knock people out with muscles. They've never been muscly, so his muscle ain't going to do the talking on Saturday.
How is it changing your excitement for the opening bell on Saturday from what he's been acting and how he's been saying this week?
I can't wait to smash his face in on Saturday, but look, I'm very calm. He's a bit of a guy, he's alright. Do you know what I mean? It's like Scooby-Dooby-Doo. There's a guy, there's a character called Scrappy. He's the scrappy one. I'm the calm one. I do my job on Saturday night.
Does it change how you want to win the fight then? You say you want to punch his face in. Is this about making a big statement and making an example of that behaviour as well?
My statement is to make a big statement on Topman, but I'm going to punish him and take him to deep waters.
Okay, Adam, wish you the best of luck for Saturday night. Back to you guys.
Love it. Absolutely love it. You rarely, if any time, I don't think I've ever seen emotion from Azim before. Jamie Ward, a great job there in getting that one for us. Let's focus on what's going on in the ring. Ekow Essuman, obviously big opportunity for him against Jack Catterall, coming off that incredible win against Josh Taylor, and this is the reward.
Yeah, and rightly deserved. Someone like Essuman, because he's not knocking people over left, right and centre, he goes under the radar. But his work ethic in the ring itself, he trains hard for sure. His work ethic in the ring, in the British boxing, is second to none. He is an absolute machine. He just stops coming forward, but with intelligence, Alan, he's not thoughtless. He thinks about his work, doesn't he?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm interested to find out on Saturday night who stylistically this favours better. You've got the engine in Essuman who does not stop working, and then you've got Catterall who likes to sit back and walk fighters onto shots. Who's this going to play into better?
I would say always for Catterall, someone coming on to him, always what he wants, because he's a thoughtful fighter who likes to control the pace. But I know after he changed pads, man. Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
No. Well, maybe it's a different style of pads, you know, and they've done that, but I've never seen it either. But I do think, though, it's not about Catterall. If Catterall doesn't have a lot left, no desire, and maybe sometimes you get to an age where you just haven't got the stamina to push the next, to keep the pace, maintain the pace, then he's going to be in trouble.
And Essuman, I'm just thinking mentally, he'll be looking at Catterall thinking, yes, he's going to be tricky, he's going to be awkward, but he's certainly someone I can outwork.
But it's a step up for him. Even though he boxed Josh Taylor, that wasn't the pristine Josh Taylor that we once know. No, that wasn't the undisputed great Josh Taylor, that's the truth. No, he's still a good fighter, by the way, but Catterall probably got more left in the tank, you would say.
Well,
so
we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, we will, but I mean, But Essuman's a problem for anyone. I mean, you know, he takes a good shot, he's constantly a moving target, and he's busy.
I felt like when Josh picked Ekow Essuman last time round, Josh went a level below what he's used to fighting just to see if it's there still. Because let's be honest, as good as Ekow is, we kind of know he's British European level. Yeah. Is Jack doing the same?
Yeah, but do you know what though? Having said that, Josh saying that might have been the case, but he showed he was levels above early on in that contest, and it was just, you know, this man's relentless attack and the will to want to let shots go. And it could be a similar thing. It might be Captain saying, let's gauge it ourselves.
But they're not 6-round fight, they're 12-round fight. If they were 6-round fight, Zab Judah would be the greatest fighter that ever lived.
Yeah. Good shout that.
As good as he was the best 6-round fighter you've ever seen in your life.
You're making me think it's like a quiz question you've done now. I'm like, yeah. The double pad work was interesting.
Yeah.
That double percentage he's got to give away.
I had 2 pad men, to be honest, because the first one used to fall asleep, I was so boring, and they get another guy in.
You definitely weren't out there hands.
Remember, this is WBO Global Welterweight title. Again, it's a trinket that doesn't mean much. It's the win that means a lot for both. Ekow Essuman wins, you never know, right? And you look at the world title, you look at the world scene, he could jump straight up there. Jack wins. He's got the name, he's got the back, and he could go up there as well. All right, let's bring Jack in the ring. Let's go again to Thomas Treiber.
And now let's welcome to the ring the challenger from Chorley, Lancashire, England. His professional record, 31 wins, 2 defeats, 13 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jack El Gato Catterall.
Here comes Jack Catterall, who has changed a lot. He's relocated, he's moved to the States, he's changed trainers, he's now with Bozy Ennis, the dad of the great Boots Ennis. He wants to prove that he's not a boring fighter, that he can get the victories, he can get the big wins. And I love the fact that he's decided, you know what, I'm gonna separate from a 10-year friendship, if you like, 10-year relationship with Nigel Travis and Jamie Moore and bet on myself a bit here.
Ambition, shows huge ambition for me, and that's what's required when you're at these latest stages of your career. How much do you still want it? And that sacrifice shows it all.
All right, let's hear from his new trainer, Bozy Ennis. He is ringside with Jamie Moore.
Yeah, Bozy, great to see you. First time in the UK for you, I believe. How are you enjoying it all so far?
Man, beautiful. Great time, man. The plane ride was nice and everything was nice. Yeah.
In terms of Jack Catterall, you've not had lots and lots of time together over in Philadelphia, but how happy and pleased have you been with how he's responded to things so far?
When he first came down, he came down and when they called me up, he just wanted to come down and work out, you know what I mean? And I guess that he loved what he's doing, so his manager had texted me and called me up this year and said, how would I like to do? How would I like to work with Jack? I said, yeah, Jack's a pretty good, nice guy, you know what I mean? There's a lot I can teach him, you know, just like that. So that's how, they said they was going to pick between me and Bomac, so he picked me, so.
You've worked with a lot of great fighters, including your son, of course. What do you admire about Jack Catterall as a fighter and his ability?
His work ethic. He works real good, you know what I mean? He do everything I tell him to do, man, you know, and he's a great person, man. That's all I can say.
How far do you still believe Jack Catterall can go in this sport, Bozy?
I think Jack can go to the top. All he got to do is put some more of my stuff into him, you know, because it take a little time to, to catch on to what I'm teaching him, but I think he's going to be pretty good.
What do you want to see in the ring from Jack on Saturday?
Saturday, I want to see Jack to go out there and do everything behind the jab. Set everything up behind the jab. And then move your head, catch the shot sometimes, don't move too far back. Go out to the side, you know what I mean? Fake, go sometime in and out, you know what I mean? And just be Jack, you know?
I think we can expect a more aggressive version of Jack Catterall perhaps under your tutelage.
Say it again?
Can we expect a more aggressive version of Jack Catterall, do you think?
That's what I want him to do. You know what I mean? I want him to press right behind the jab, though. Everything behind the jab. Go forward, set his punches up, and just don't stay in front. Because a lot of times Jack got to have it of staying in front after you throw the shots.
Just finally, Bozy, do you believe we see the big one, hopefully next year, between Jerome Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz? Boxing needs to see it. Do you think we see it?
Well, the way it seemed like, you know what I mean, they don't want to take the fight, you know what I mean? But, we can move on, you know what I mean? Well, we want the fight because I think that's a great fight for both of them. Virgil's a great fighter. He can't take it away from him. He got good people behind him, you know what I mean? So We'll see.
How special is your son? How do you believe he would win that fight against Virgil Ortiz?
Boots?
How do you believe Boots would beat Virgil? Yeah.
I think what happens, if Virgil, as good as everybody say he is, you'll see Boots go to another level. You know what I mean? They didn't see nothing yet. They didn't see nothing yet, you know, because he be working with heavyweights, light heavyweights, and he be stopping them.
Thank you, Bozy. Good luck with Jack this week. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir.
I was like, come on, Jamie, ask him that Boots question. I was like, come on, don't you let me down, don't you let me down. So that's the fight we want to see, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, there are two massive fights in America for me. That one, Boots versus Virgil, and there's a lot of talk now about Tio versus Shakur. On, you know, cards on the table, Boots versus Virgil.
I love it. I want to go with Boots, though. I just think the skill against the ferocious physical strength of Ortiz. I think the speed.
Great matchup, isn't it?
Yeah.
I tell you what, Virgil's more than just power though.
Yes.
And he showed that against Mazrimov. He can box really good. But again, I'm with you. I think Boots is more versatile. And that gives him a slight edge. It's a great fight though.
It is a great fight. So many great fights coming up, including this very, very special card, November 22nd.
Live, only on DAZN, November 22nd, The Ring 4. In boxing, gold is everything. And on this night, every fight feels like a main event. David Benavidez, the undefeated Mexican monster, defends against Anthony Yard, London's heavy hitter. A warrior who's gone toe-to-toe with the best and has the power to end anyone's night early. But the action doesn't stop there. Devin Haney, a two-weight undisputed king, chases history in yet another division versus Brian Norman Jr., the undefeated champ. While Bam looks to unify more of his division if he can break Fernando Martinez. Plus, Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes clash at lightweight for the WBO title. This is more than a fight night. It's 4 world titles in 4 different divisions. It's the night of the champions. The Ring 4, November 22nd. Watch only on DAZN.
That Ring 4 card, honestly, is incredible. You know when it's incredible? When you only can see a small picture of Jesse Bam Rodriguez, who's arguably pound for pound number 5. November 22nd, Ring 4 Night of Champions. And then December 27th, Ring 5 Night of the Samurai headlined by arguably pound for pound number 3, Inoue versus Picasso. Junto Nakatani on that card as well. The plan is they both win. They meet sometime next year, which is going to be incredible. And talking of incredible, Amanda Serrano coming off that defeat to Katie Taylor. She's back in straight away with something that she knows very well in Cruz. That fight, January the 3rd. Loads coming on DAZN. All right. We're hearing Eubank's a bit late.
Never.
No, yeah.
But I got some of the beat, so, you know.
Wasn't Conor late yesterday?
Yeah.
I see what's going on. Okay, I see what's going on. Conor's in the building, though. We are hearing that Conor Benn is in the building. What have you made of the workout so far?
Yeah, it's been nice. Been enjoying it.
I mean, do you know what? From what I've seen, you've got fully focused fighters there that are ready for Saturday night, and I like that. You know, I mean, they're going through the run of the mill here, which they usually do, but I like the mannerism, I like the body language.
They're excited, aren't they?
They are excited. They understand the opportunity. This is a massive event. Tottenham Stadium, Saturday night, it's going to be fun, they're going to be banged out, it's going to be something special, and they're all thrilled to be a part of it.
All of them have smiles, you're right about the excitement, but the one with the biggest smile for me is Sam Gilly. Seeing him going around, and obviously there's 2 reasons, Ollie Murs, but fighting at your
What
Tottenham
did he
Hotspur.
say yesterday? This is my city, and I'm not going to lose.
What he said, right? Tottenham Hotspur fan, and they're fighting
And also, like I was saying earlier, I think he's had a quite a frustrating period where he should have boxed for the big and British title against Louis Green when they boxed a while back, and then he's just lost momentum with injuries and just not being able to get a TV date for a long time for it. And now he's get the opportunity, and then when he got the opportunity in Ipswich, he underperformed, in his opinion. He got the draw, but it wasn't a loss, that's the main thing. But now he feels he got a point to prove, and that frustration sometimes can manifest itself into anger, and also sometimes a brilliant result. And I hope for him, he needs to be at his best against Ishmael Davis, that's for sure. And I do think, for the undercard, that's the fight of the night.
We saw Jack Catterall just doing a little workout. We heard from Bozy Ennis. What does Bozy need to add to Jack Catterall? What do we need to see from Jack on Saturday?
A bit more spite, I think, a bit more... look, you don't want to take away what has made him such a good fighter, and that's a very good counter-puncher. But I'd like to see a bit more purpose on that front foot, creep forward, make your opponent throw. Really draw out that lead. He's not going to have to worry about doing that against Essuman. So that's why I think it's a really good fight. Who stylistically does this suit better? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing Saturday.
I think for me, you don't make him more aggressive. He is what he is now. You tinker with him, you make him a worse fighter, in my opinion. So he's never going to catch the world alight with this style, unless he's got someone who comes at him. But when he does, sometimes he touches with the punches. That's the difference that I think Bozy can make, is turn into every shot. When you do, okay, be cautious, be thoughtful, but when you do throw, really turn into the shot. But he has the ability, the timing and the speed to do it, and then you'll have more impact then they'll start wearing them down. Still, without breaking your style.
Yeah, I think when I say going forward, not to be a record or anything, what it is now, I was a counter puncher, so what I'd like to do is creep forward. That makes your opponent have to punch. Then I can look for the opening. If you're taking a step back, it might make them a little bit reluctant to throw the shot. But if you're in front of them, they have to throw.
One thing, Conor Benn, by the way, is making his way. There he is. Look, he's here. I say making his way. Look, Nigel Benn by his side. I think he's seen himself as well. He's seen himself on the big screen. Don't run now, Conor. Don't run. We've seen you. Obviously, last time, obviously, the fight's at 160. Last time he came in around 155, 156. Do you think he's going to come in at 160 this time?
I think he'll be a bit heavier.
I know he's got to drop a little bit of weight.
See, inside information, ladies and gentlemen.
That's good, though.
Yeah, I think so.
See, being tight at the weight, people think it's a bad thing, it's a good thing. It gives you that edge, doesn't it? I mean, it makes you a little bit of a meaner person. If everything's too comfortable, you're eating a little bit more. It sounds silly, but you won't try as hard in training at the time.
And he's fighting as a middleweight. He's not fighting as a welterweight, so do it how a middleweight would do it.
But you got to be putting on too much weight. It's no good for you. If he comes in 158, whatever the weight is. You just got to get it right for him.
Would he have felt Chris Eubank's strength and felt like, okay, maybe I need to kind of get those 4 or 5 pounds that I gave away?
Well, I've no doubt he would have, but that may be a thinking here. Maybe get a bigger. You're naturally going to grow into it, Barry, aren't you? Anyway.
Yeah, but he needs to be explosive. We talked about earlier, didn't we, with the heavyweights, about putting on the weight the right way. Explosiveness and speed is going to be his friend, not strength. He has natural power, but if he's not explosive, if he's trying to whale in punches heavy rather than fast, he's going to be in trouble.
All right, it's time for one part of our main event. Conor Benn is ready to enter the ring, so let's throw it back down to Mr. Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, will it be repeat or redemption? Our main event this Saturday is a rematch scheduled for 12 rounds in the middleweight division. Let's first welcome to the ring from Ilford, Essex, England. He has a professional record of 23 wins, just 1 defeat. 14 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBA Continental Champion, Conor the Destroyer Benn.
Here comes Conor Benn. More experienced, more focused, I dare say, this time round as well. And, you know, with a bit of inside information, a little bit bigger this time round as well, Darren.
Yeah. And look,
the tweets are going to be going mad.
Tell us, Dad, tell us.
Look, I can't tell you what they're going to do tactically or technically in this fight. I don't know what a game plan is, but yeah, I think he's definitely grown into this a little bit, and that's why moving beyond this fight is welterweight a real possibility. I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, though, this man, we've said it before, he needs to stay disciplined. He needs to use that fire, but he needs to use that fire and aggression correctly, Barry.
Yeah, I see. One thing, now that first fight out of the way, he seems more relaxed because, you know, he's not defending that undefeated record. He's not defending that almost that family pride thing where he had to get the win. So that's done now. So he still wants to get the win. He still has to get angry, but I mean, there's a bit more. He's being relaxed, not a bad thing, but he still has to fight angry. The aggression is his friend if he can get it right. I mean, you can use the aggression and it can be overwhelming and you can just make mistakes. But if he gets it right, if he goes in there aggressive, pumped up like his dad used to, every punch has a meaning, but you don't overstep your mark, you don't punch too far over the front foot, then he got the ability to knock anybody out. I mean, you know, he hurt Eubank in the first fight a few times. And, you know, if he can be a bit smarter with the second phase of attack, then he's got a good chance.
You know, when you watch Conor Benn, Darren, considering basically no amateur records, he's a lot better than... Like, if you were to watch him, you'd think there was an amateur record, wouldn't you? He looks like someone who's had a few amateur fights and then has turned pro. I feel like he's learnt on the job so quickly.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think when someone picks stuff up when they probably have no right to, or they've done it as quick as perhaps he has, it shows desire to want to learn. You know, when you're in the gym and you're all ears and you're looking to improve, it's quite easy to say, oh, look, I can't do that, I want to move on to something else. He's dedicated himself to this trade, the hardest trade there is out there, and yeah, that's showing all the correct signs to go on and to be potentially successful in this sport.
You know, you just mentioned his size there, Barry, and you're right. I mean, he's home now for the last, I guess, couple of years. It's been 154 or 160. Can he make 147? Does he have to make 147? Because you look at what's at 154 and you're like, wow, okay, there are sharks everywhere. Does he not have to make 147?
Yeah, but I think if he wants a realistic chance of fighting for a world title, I think that would be the weight. But can he still get down to that? That's a lot of weight cut, isn't it? I mean, he's saying he can, so maybe he can. But I think Darren talks about how improved the fighter that he is. So he had an issue with me a few years back, and I called him the most improved fighter in the country before the Algeria fight, and he had a really problem with that. And when I sort of spoke to him, he said, "You're making out that I won a very good fighter." And I said, "Well, actually, Conor, you weren't that good, and why should you be good? You had no experience. You just come into the game really green and fresh, and you knew nothing about the sport. Just having a great father who's a great boxer doesn't mean you automatically make you a great fighter." But he learned on the job, so he was the most improved fighter in the country, and then he took it about as a compliment, thank God, because he could fight in front of me. But I mean, after that, you know, he's gone on for leaps and bounds, and I think he's learned on the job, and that's a difficult thing to do under the line, under the spotlight, Darren, continuously. And now, you know, he's probably as good as he's ever been.
Yeah, 100%. I'm intrigued to see how he approaches this fight, Barry, from the off. Like, does Conor Benn look to hold the centre of the ring, or does he try and use that side of Eubank to walk him onto shot?
No, I don't think. I tell him how improved he is. I don't think he has the ability or the size to walk him onto shots. I think he has to be the aggressor. But like everything with boxing, Darren, as you know, it's your entry and your exit.
That shot we've just seen a moment ago, the jab, that's going to be so important.
He didn't use that in the last fight. He was getting low, which was good, and leaning over to the right, which wasn't bad. Forced Eubank to overreach with the shots at times, but without the jab, he can't find a way in. Or he has to study Eubank's jab and find a way in when he throws his jab, which is a risk that you have to either break Eubank's jab down by parrying it or blocking it, or take the brunt of the shot. So that's a risk to me. I think you need double jab. We say it all the time to me. That double jab and stab in that front foot, put speed in that lead hand, and that closes the distance to you. And then all you got to do then is take a step to the right. So he's on the left-hand side of the left-hand jab of Eubank, and he can throw from a safe place.
And another one, I guess, if we're going to go back to the weight, and if he is trying to build up into this middleweight division, we go back to that third round where he hurt Eubank. If he was a little bit bigger, naturally, would that have done more damage?
I think so, possibly, yeah. But also at the same time, like we mentioned, he has to stay explosive. So putting on that weight, he has to be sensibly put on, where you carry a bit more power and more purchase throwing through the punches, but also keep that speed and explosiveness. Otherwise, it's no good. It's just a heavy, you know that? Those heavy shots you can take all day. Yeah. It's the ones with the snap are the ones that make you think twice about throwing back, make you put panic on you, or knock you down and hurt you. The heavy shots, it's a bit of pain, isn't it? But you can absorb that and get used to it.
There does seem a calm demeanour. Not just around Conor, look, all smiles, Tony Sims smiles, Nigel, Pedro in the corner. They seem at peace, they seem comfortable, are they?
Sorry guys, I've been a bit quiet for the last couple of minutes, a bit of big breaking news that we will confirm. I don't want to really kind of spoil anything. We will confirm. I'm smiling because, you know, Jamie Ward looked at me, I looked at Jamie, I think there's something to talk about, but we will break it a bit later. Aside from that, Conor's looked explosive in the ring, hasn't he? Looked really good in the ring.
Yeah,
I genuinely believe this could be a better fight than the first one, which is saying something.
history would tell you the second fight's very rarely as good as the first, but it has happened in the past, so it can happen. And I think because, like I said again, no disrespect to these two, I think that Dad looks slightly better than them. So I think this fight, and so the second fight for them wasn't as good because they've been aware of what mistakes they made in the first. I think these two might make the same mistakes, which makes it a fun fight. But either way, whichever you paint it, Conor has to be aggressive. If he's not aggressive, he can't outbox Chris, I don't think. If he proves me wrong, it's fantastic, but I can't see that.
Yeah, I mean, that aggression has to be there. We've said this, you know, ever since the first fight was happening. He's got to be smart with the way he uses that fire and that aggression. He's got to channel it and pick his moments, but that's not bad sparring, partner.
That would be a bucket list for you and me. Just to do just to do a little bit of shadow thing, boxing there in front of Nigel Benn. I wonder if that's the same for Conor, because it's his dad.
I don't know. The air of the shots from Nigel Benn is probably enough to knock me out.
You know, they mirror. They almost mirror each other, don't they? And in terms of the way Conor's clearly watched his dad growing up, because he mirrors him. Even the way he kind of bends his knees and goes
I tell you what, Nigel Benn coming up before he won anything, he looked the angriest man you ever met in your life. He was so ferocious. He had that Mohican haircut thing that he had going on, and he used to scream when he got in the ring, and you just thought, this is a maniac. And he used to wear people, he used to knock people off. Like, it was just, almost horrific the way he tore through people.
I spoke to him recently, I sit down with Nigel, and you know, it always kind of reverted back to the same thing. I just loved to fight. I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to do damage.
But people forget, though, he was ABA champion. He was a really good boxer. You don't just win that on aggression alone. You have to have skill. So I think he was underrated his skill, but ultimately, the power and the commitment. I think I say it all the time. He was arguably our most instinctive fighter we've ever had.
No, I said that to him. I said, what are your ambitions after you turn, when you turn pro, after being an amateur, winning the ABAs? He went, do you know what? I thought to myself, if I could win a Southern area and win a British, I've done well.
I love that. You wouldn't hear that from anybody anymore, would you, that? Well, he did more than that, didn't he? He turned out to be one of our best. He was brilliant.
Two-weight world champion.
And do you know what, though? Conor, to be fair, coming from the background he has, a privileged background, that's the truth, to do what he's done, in a tough sport, that's the same with Chris, is to be commended. It really is.
Okay, guys, that bit of breaking news that I was referring to, I can reveal that the Ring magazine have put out a tweet confirming that there are negotiations for Anthony Joshua to fight Jake Paul December 10th, I believe the date is, in Miami. That's a real thing.
Jake Paul will get hurt.
Yeah. I mean, surely that doesn't go more than... I've made jokes that AJ could go over and just literally...
I'll say this very quickly, right? If you're Team Jake Paul, you show him the Ngannou fight and say, this is what happens to someone that doesn't box properly. And you want to fight this man.
Yeah.
But also, it's true, and it should
What a replacement, though. What a replacement, considering it was supposed to be Gervonta Davis. To replace that man with Anthony Joshua is incredible.
6'6".
Is incredible. Anyway, enough of that, because we have the superstar in the building.
Oh, his music got me going.
Got a nice little sweater. You're looking bigger, Conor. Can I have 1 second? Can I have a little... Okay. Conor, how are you feeling, my man?
Yeah, great, man.
Yeah?
Happy to be here.
But everything looks different from April last time. Everything. The demeanour looks different.
No, I was still healing, man. Do you know what I mean? What's a strong mind can carry a weak body, but a strong body can't carry a weak mind. And it's all up here. It's all mental. I felt strong. I'm always give 100%. I weren't right. A lot of hatred, a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of spite. Waking up in the morning, that was what fueled me. Yeah. I wake up in the morning angry, I go to bed angry. And I don't feel that way now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm an emotional guy. I'm an emotional guy.
And what has given you that peace, Conor?
Therapy.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of therapy. A lot of help.
I love that. That's brilliant, that is.
I was a broken man. But my job, my pro was to get back in the ring. I wanted to just get back in the ring because that was like a place where I found peace. And it was just hard. It was hard. Mentally, I look back now and I go, cool, I weren't in no condition to fight.
You must be so proud of yourself.
No, No, you must be. You must be.
I mean, I'm getting there. You don't. I mean, people go through worse things in life, right? You know. So what am I moaning about?
It's your life, though. So the problems in your life are your problems. So you can't belittle that. If it's a problem for you,
it helped get me through thinking about what other people else are going through. Comparisons to what I am. Just my ego and pride was hurt a little bit. That was it. I've got my kids are healthy. I'm healthy.
Yeah,
my family's healthy. What am I moaning about? What am I really moaning about? You know, and I think you have to go through things in life to get to where I am now. And I feel happy. Too happy.
I
might get in there on a Saturday night start dancing. Do you know what I mean?
Can you switch that switch? So can you click that switch? I know you can.
Come on, Barry.
But I was going to ask you, because to go the 12 rounds, they've got a ton of 12 rounds, a great 12 rounds there. It's a real ton of 12 rounds. You've done that for the first time in your career.
Second.
For me, though, I think that
was my first proper 12 rounder. That was look at it like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think against a big guy like that, and you know now. You think we all think we can do it, but until you do, you don't know.
Agreed.
Now you know. Is that a daunting task, or do you take strength for that?
Listen, I don't like going 12 rounds. If I can close the show, I'll close the show. But ultimately, I know I could go 12 rounds with a much bigger man.
Yeah.
But not only him throw double the amount of punches, I was back in the gym on the Sunday.
Oh, wow.
You know, I was back in the gym on the Sunday. So if you look at the damage done in the fight, it felt like I barely took any damage. I didn't have no DOMs, I wasn't sore, I was ready to go again. I got straight on the phone to my team and said, listen, let's go again. Like, when can we go again? It was supposed to be September, I pushed back to November. For me, this is my last fight at 160. You know, I'm not much bigger than you, Barry. this is my...
you calling me out?
No, I'm not. Yeah. This is my last fight up at 160, and then I just can't wait to be done with this. I can't wait for this to be done. They'll have to see his face ever again. They'll have to hear it again. I can drop back down to 147 and pursue the goal me and my trainer and my team set out to achieve. And that was winning the world title.
Hold on, though. If when you win, you telling me there wouldn't be a third fight?
No. So you sit there and you go, I delivered with the 2 fights. The big fights don't really happen these days because of the fighters, the promotional contracts. They don't deliver, they don't happen. I'm sitting now going, I'm set for life.
Yeah.
Could I fight again, do the trilogy for greed? Or could I fight for the world title? And I sit down and I go, I don't think I could live with myself if I passed up on the world title. I can't make 147 forever. And me spending another 6 months at 160, you can say goodbye to your 147 dreams.
What a thing to be able to say at your age. I'm set for life. That's amazing. You know, take that and keep that in your head forever.
That's until he starts thinking about yachts.
No,
and then he's going to want a bit more.
But no, you can chase your ambition, though.
Yeah, but I'm not fueled by that now.
No, that's what I mean. No, the money's there. You can chase your ambition.
I'm fueled to just got to say, no, I don't care what people say. It ain't about what anybody else says. For me to sit down with my coach, with that WBC belt sitting there, and me and my trainer just sitting there going, Coach, we did it.
Conor, you know when you said, I can't wait to get rid of this? Like, be done with
I can't get it him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there not a part of you that's going to miss it? You're not going to miss it a little bit? There must be a part of you that's going to miss sitting across from him and all the drama.
No. Just thinking about it. Just the way he talks. No. I've got to suffer him at the press conference tomorrow as well. Oh, God, give me strength. God, give me strength.
Yeah, you're probably going to need some, actually, because you know what he's like already. Have you watched the first fight back a few times?
I've watched it back twice.
What did you make of your performance?
What do I make of it?
Here we go, little bits of it here.
Yeah,
hopefully it's not showing the bits where you're getting hit a bit. Okay, this is good.
Oh, which part didn't I get hit?
You got every round you guys were throwing leather.
Like, you know what, he's crafty in there. I didn't give him credit for that. You know, he's resilient, he's strong, he's athletic, he's got good work rate on him. I feel like I took his soul that night. I took a big part of it, and I'm going to take what's left of it Saturday. But ultimately, it takes two to tango. That fight wouldn't have been what it would have been if it wasn't
He changed. What? Just like that. This is 30 seconds of him laughing.
Yeah, no, you see, I like it. Don't think the switch, Barry. Don't think the switch.
But how did the size and the physical strength of Chris Eubank compare to others?
You can feel the difference in there. I can feel the size difference. He absorbs the shots more. He's more resilient. But if he was a welterweight, this would be a no contest. This would be no match.
You can use the angles, can you? Your entry and
You
your
say
exit
use
can
the
be a bit
angles,
better.
but he used his weight well.
Yeah.
He used his weight well. And I was erratic early on, and he used his weight well. He used his experience.
Yeah.
He's crafty in there. He doesn't look all that from the outside, but when you're in there with him, I'm sure you've met them fighters throughout your careers where they don't look all that. And then when you get in there with them, oh, you go, okay, that makes sense. Why you're crafty, you're experienced, bit awkward. You know, he's a good fighter. I take my hat off to him.
Conor, look, you've been here long enough. Go on, get going. Your dad's calling you as well. Your team are calling you.
We're going to the gym.
Yeah, getting gym.
We're going to gym.
Okay,
yeah,
that's why you got to go. Conor, we'll see you tomorrow at the presser. Thank you very much.
All right, good luck, mate.
Feels strong, feels big. Fired up, I'll take that. Fired up as well. I love it. Yeah, I'm calm. As soon as he saw himself with Eubank on the screen, he was like, okay, you're ready to go.
He changed me in like 20 seconds.
He does look physically bigger, though. I know you mentioned it, Darren. You can see it. The neck, the size of the back. I tapped him on the shoulder a couple of times. I can feel the size there. He's a big boy.
Yeah, but again, I mean, that'll help him to absorb the weight a little bit. But I still think it's all it is, getting to the target. And then when he gets to the target, he's effective. It's getting to the target, his entry and exit. That's all it is for him. He needs to be smarter and quicker. And he didn't use the jab in the first fight. He was coming in with the right hand because he's seen the target. I think Eubank sits on that back foot with that left hand low, invites you to throw. Yeah. And I think he just fell into that trap, throwing that big right hand, which is the weapon he should throw, but you've got to get closer to throw it, that's all.
This was nice to see, isn't it? This is what you want to see. If you are our age and you've grown up with Nigel, and to see this is sort of the stuff of two generations.
Yeah, a man who's intent and loves to fight. You know, he's just a fighter born and bred. I was talking to Barry there, speaking to him recently, and that has been given to Conor as well. As we've said, he doesn't need to fight Conor, you know, and he's chosen to do this, and he's committed everything to it. And yeah, he's going to have to change a few things. Size looks good, but the mentality, the aura surrounding Conor Benn is good.
One thing he said there, and he said a lot, but the one thing that stood out for me was 147. Because I look at him and think, you're a big boy. Especially now, especially when you've not been at 147 for the best part of 4 years. But it looks like he's determined to get back down to 147.
But like putting on weight, reducing it has to take time. You can't just cut it really quick, because you lose all your natural strength and you'll be weak at that weight. So I think he has to go down slowly. I would say to super welter for a fight before he goes down to welter, if that's what he wants to do. But I'd like to see the ambition to want to try and fight for it and win a world title. And like to say at his age, to say I'm set financially for life is like then you're in it for the glory, and I like that.
You know, we spoke about this earlier, like no one caring too much about the O anymore. Obviously he's lost that. If he loses twice, does it damage the profile, the brand, if he does want to go down and fill stadiums?
The way you say it is, I've lost twice to a middleweight.
Yeah.
You know, a fully fledged middleweight. I think when you're losing to different opponents, there's two names on your record. But he's here. He's made his arrival.
He is here
to the workout, and he still looks good.
Calm down, Adam Smith. He's here.
Still looks good though. And look, he's always got the high cheekbones, Eubank Jr. But he doesn't look.
He looks fresher than the first fight.
He does, yeah. He doesn't look to me someone who's struggling at the weight on the Wednesday.
I'm always obsessed with how many team members one needs.
I reckon you'd have a big entourage.
At least 20.
Yeah.
At least 20. That's what he's got. Eubank's got a team
Until
of
you
20.
realise you got to pay them all.
Then it trims down. Yeah, no one's here as a volunteer basis. But it'll be interesting to see what he looks like. Again, we know ultimately the weight cut's a tough one for him. But it's how he does it this time round. He's going to learn from last time.
All he's got to, because he has the ability and he has the range and the size. He needs the engine. You got to have a good engine against a guy who's going to be coming at him for 12 rounds, as he knows from the first fight.
All right, we've had Conor Benn in the ring. Now it's time for Chris Eubank Jr. Let's throw down to Mr. Thomas Triver to introduce him.
And now let's welcome to the ring, from Brighton, England, his professional record: 35 wins, 3 defeats. 25 of his 35 wins come by way of knockout. Ranked number 3 by Ring Magazine, let's welcome the former IBO World Champion, Chris Eubank Jr.
All right, here we go. Chris Eubank Jr. in the ring, as is Bozy Ennis, as is the whole team as well, which hopefully means we get a bit of a workout from Chris Eubank Jr. Did I say Bozy Ennis?
Bomac.
Did I say Bozy Ennis? I did this night, yeah, Bomac. Sorry, Bomac. Too many bows around, too many bows around. You know what threw me actually is because I think Bozy said Jack Catterall was going to choose between him and Bomac. For a minute, I'm giving myself excuses. Anyway, look, before I trip up anymore, let's go down ringside. Tony Sims is with Jamie Ward.
Okay, Tony, here we go. Again, part 2 between the sons, part 4 in the family history books. How pleased are you mentally, physically with where Conor's at this stage in comparison to April, perhaps?
Yeah, listen, he was in good shape in April. He was in great shape, but obviously it was a lot of firsts that he had to get over. First fight at middleweight, first fight in a big stadium, topping the bill, you know, and first fight in 15 months. But he's done all that now, so he knows what's in front of him. His preparation's gone really well. I'm really pleased with the progress we've made. Made a lot of adjustments for this fight, and you know, he's really mentally and physically really ready to go on Saturday night.
You weren't very happy with his performance, were you, Tony, first time in April?
I wasn't happy with the performance. It's probably the worst I've seen him fight, but in saying that, as I said earlier, he had a lot of things mentally in front of him that he had to overcome, and bearing in mind, you know, he had all what went on before him, he had to overcome, and there was a lot of things that was running through his mind. So his mind's clear now, and he's in a mentally good place, and a lot of this sport, boxing, is about the mental side of it, and he's in a really good place. So Saturday night, you know, I am looking forward to him fighting Saturday night and putting in a very good performance.
You see Chris Eubank Jr. in the ring just behind us here, Tony. What do you make of the shape that he looks in at this stage of fight week?
He looks in great shape. He looks like he prepared well. He always looks in great shape, and obviously we're expecting a very tough fight like last time. But I just think Conor will be better prepared, and I think mentally he's in a better place to fight.
How are you feeling about coming up against Bomac as well? What do you think of Eubank's decision to bring him back into camp? Why do you think he's done that?
Yeah, listen, he's having you know, he's having a great career at the minute. You know, he's just had Crawford win the Undisputed, so he's on a crest of a wave, and it goes like that with trainers. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down, but hopefully he starts coming down on this next fight.
Just finally, Tony, you'll be asked this question a few times this week, but how do you see this being different? And more importantly, the Benns finally securing a win over the Eubanks. How does it happen?
Yeah, that'll be a great feeling, you know, for the Benn family, especially to get that win over Eubanks. And listen, we're confident in winning the fight, and really confident. And you know, we know it's going to be a difficult fight. It's always going to be hard because obviously the family history and the name, neither one of them want to lose the fight. So we know it's going to be an hard fight. We know Conor's got to go into the trenches at some stage of the fight. But I think he's prepared for that now, and he knows what's in front of him. And I really think that, you know, I really think he's going to put on a great performance on Saturday night.
Great stuff, Tony. Best of luck to you this week as well, my friend.
Darren, your former trainer there, Tony Sims, again, a man that doesn't really like being in front of the cameras, but every time he speaks, he does speak very, very well. And he has to come up with something special, doesn't he? In that corner to get Conor Benn through Chris Eubank Jr., we are going to need to see a Tony Sims masterclass.
I tell you what, that man lives and breathes the sport. He loves it. He really does. He studies the game. He studies his opponents. He studies his own fighters. He studies fighters of the past. And yeah, very, very good at implementing game plans, and game plans that aren't overcomplicated, you know. Keep it simple. I think sometimes this sport can be overcomplicated, and you know, he'll try and tidy up certain aspects of Conor Benn to make it more effective this time round. But yeah, a solid, sound man, an educated man when it comes to boxing, to be in your corner.
And also, most important for Tony Sims, he has a real knack and ability to turn awful fighters into good fighters, doesn't he, Darren?
I tell you now, Rob, there was only once, right, in that minute's rest, so calm. And he told me off once. In my 11th fight, I got knocked down twice. And I won't repeat what he said to me, but he told me off for leaning back on the rope. Otherwise, very calm, very, well, I needed simple advice, but he never overcomplicated anything, and a minute, 50 seconds if you want, was enough for him to get exactly what he needed over to us.
Yeah, it's taken about a minute, 50 seconds for Eubank Jr. to get the gloves on here, which means he is going to hit the pads a little bit, which is good. I mean, I spoke about this at the top of the show. Some fighters do something, some fighters do nothing. Him and Conor are using this as a bit of a workout.
Yeah, no, he'll take all the time to put the gloves on, throw 4 punches and take them off again. That's what he'll probably do. But Chris Eubank, he'll do it at his pace. He knows that. You can't dictate anything to him. We've seen that with the press conference in the past, with Eddie Hearn. You want him to have a word in. I'll do it at my level, my pace, and you won't got to work around me. And I don't, and why not? You know, he's the star of the show.
Certainly is. Let's not forget, he's the man that got the job done in April. He's the man favourite to get the job done again on Saturday live on the Zone. Eubank Jr. with new trainer Bo Mack. I say new trainer, it was the same trainer that got him arguably his career best performance against Liam Smith. Yeah, so why not go back to that guy?
Yeah, there was a lot of questions, obviously, with that rematch with Smith, when he got stopped quite convincingly in the first fight, though he still disputes that he was in trouble, but he was. And to come back then in the second fight with a fantastic performance meant these two guys were a nice fit.
And Tony Sims just staying ringside, catching a glimpse of Eubank training.
I like that. You know, I like that because I always feel like if you can, why not? Some trainers just go, and I feel like you're not going to lose anything by staying for a couple of minutes and just seeing what they do.
And he's not going to see anything either. So, I think it's just a show of presence. Yeah, I think that's it. And also, more than that, it's your due diligence, just in case. He might twist an ankle, you know, and no one sees it, but he sees it. You go, hang on a minute. Or he's looking a bit dodgy with his elbow there. He flicked his arm up. Maybe he got a problem, and maybe
not fully committed with the right hand.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
The crowd, by the way, has completely swelled here now. It's packed, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's packed, and again, this is just a small snippet of what you can expect on Saturday. Quite a few thousand are going to be packed into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it should be a good one. Fingers crossed the weather holds good as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm under a canopy, aren't we? So we're all right.
I'm in the studio, I'm all right.
No, but yeah, no, hopefully it stays dry, and I've no doubt everyone in attendance is going to have a great evening, and I just can't wait for the whole build-up, you know, on the night to enhance, and, you know, we see their arrivals as we're sat there, Barry, at ringside, and then, you know, the walks,
the anticipation.
Exactly.
All big fights, the anticipation before they get in the ring, before their ring walks, a little few moments before the first ring walk happens. It's arguably the best fight time of the night, isn't it? Because you're really on edge of what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but the ring walks in the first fight for those two was just something special, wasn't it? It really was.
Will Senior make the ring walk again with Junior?
I think they're both given. I think so, yeah. This is a family feud. This is a family affair.
Yeah.
I think feuds are good work, and I don't think it's not a rivalry anymore because the Eubanks are so far ahead now. So, you know, that rivalry thing's gone. It is a feud. Yeah. I think it's a little bit different. And there is a bit of redemption if Ben can win the fight. But according to Ben, if he wins, it ends here, whatever happens.
But one thing's for sure with the Dutch is they live and breathe every punch that's landed, and there is Tony Sims, you know, a man that studies, as I say, this game inside out, and he's studying Chris Eubank Jr. right now.
I just love the way all of the Conor Benn team have gone, and Tony Sims is like, no, I'm staying. And think about that.
And you know Tony Sims studies boxing because Darren knows this because Darren's boxing in the gym. But I've been to the gym, and that wall with like the Zarate and all the great fighters, their favourite combinations, he puts them on the wall for you guys to learn. And that takes a lot of studying to find out what their best combination is.
Yeah, I've sat down in his study, in his house, and we've watched fights. I mean, he was the first man to really introduce me to Sugar Ray Robinson. I knew of the great man, the greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever, but I hadn't really sat down and watched him. It was Tony who said, look at this, look at that triple left hook that Robinson throws.
But when he wasn't looking, I put Jones and jab on the bottom of his paper.
Yeah, you're on there.
By the way,
the Neil it was called.
the best thing I can say about Eubank's workout here is how clean it looks. Everything just seems very sharp and snappy. He looks really good here.
Yeah, he's not. Listen, they're not going to give anything away, are they? They're not going to show you too much. And he has got a tracksuit on. He's not in shorts and t-shirts, so I think he's not overemphasising that he's tight on the weight, but also, if he can sweat half a pound off or a few ounces, he'll take that.
I wonder how much pad work Bomac does with Eubank as well. Why is it?
I don't think he does pad work.
He doesn't do no pad
I don't
work.
think there's any pad work for anybody, I don't think. But by the way, pad work is overused in my opinion. I think the bag is the most important instrument in the gym, I think. So what do I know?
No, but I guess so, because you're there and you're having to use your own imagination. You've got to imagine your fighter in front of you when you're throwing the combination.
Yeah, I think so.
Bomac only does big fights, doesn't he? I mean, he's gone from one stadium to another. He's gone from the Allegiant Stadium to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And look, I love all the attention he's getting, because him and Crawford were doing it almost silently in Omaha, not getting the adulation they should have got, and now finally he's getting the respect.
Selling out in Omaha, but still silently, yeah, how crazy is that? I mean, Terence Crawford's a generational talent. That's the
Will he be here on Saturday? Do we know if Crawford's going to fly over?
I hope so.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice.
But he's enjoying this, Bomac. You get that big fight feel. Obviously, he's used to them, and you can see he's buzzing with the energy of this event.
I want to know what's in the bag that Bomac's carrying.
Interesting. When you said that, I started thinking of the movie Seven. It's in that movie Seven.
Yeah.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
What did you think that? I was thinking all the money.
But a two-pack Shakur, Chris Eubank Jr. is getting warmed with. And I think that's it. I think he's kind of giving Bomac the little head shake, like, we've done enough. I think the best ever media public workout I've seen has to be for Turbiev when he was going to fight Pickle. And he started doing handstands and press-ups. And I was like, what's going on here? And he lost.
We've been lucky, haven't we? We've seen some really
We're not thinking
good
about it. Yeah. We have been. Some of those Riyadh season events are sensational. With Fury. Didn't Fury and Usyk get a boat over?
That's
yes, they did. Yeah.
It's incredible to see some of these athletes in the ring, physical health, physically at their absolute peak. But this is Movember, and Movember is such an important month for mental health. Obviously, Mind do a fantastic job, the charity, in promoting that. And we've partnered with a fantastic cause to continue the partnership as well.
When you're on the ropes.
You're on the ropes. When you're on the ropes.
When you've been knocked down.
You can feel like nobody's in your corner.
And the hardest opponent to face sometimes can be yourself. You're on the ropes, but you don't want to show it.
Toughen up.
Be the boss, don't cry, keep it in, shut it down.
Say that. Hold it, keep it in.
Until you find a space to finally let your guard down.
It's okay to 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 let your guard down.
Welcome to the Corner Club.
Championing boys and men to open up.
Don't throw in the towel. We're here to let you know it's okay and that you're never fighting alone.
Being brave is asking for help.
Real Bottle is saying the first few words.
Sharing your pain, vulnerability,
feelings. Through moving,
Talking. Connecting.
Sharing.
And healing.
The Corner Club. There's always someone in your corner.
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 Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? The Zone are proud to partner up with the Corner Club. It's a fantastic initiative which allows young men of all age groups, not just to get fit physically, but have that conversation as well. Conversations that men normally shy away from. Again, you can see more information. You can get more information. You see the link there on the screen. But it is important to have those conversations. We just had Conor Benn here saying, look, I grew therapy, and was open and honest about it, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. You heard it there in the promo. There's always someone in your corner. Talk. Get it off your chest. You're not on your own. Please, please talk.
Yeah. And boxing is the most cathartic exercise you can do. It really is. And also, boxing gyms are the most inclusive atmosphere. And once you start doing that, it gives you release, and you're around like-minded people, and you will talk, and people will help you out. And with that, a talk is the most important thing. And if Conor Benn can do it, a man under immense pressure with all the money and fame he has, not afraid to talk to people to get rid of your problems, it can only be a good thing. And I think for men, not having that stigma and not being afraid to talk to another man and say, listen, I'm struggling.
Yeah, and we've spoken to so many people who always talk about how important boxing gyms are. Just like what they do for the community as well. And we see boxing gyms closing down, and I guess this is just my scream and shout out there, keep boxing gyms alive, because it is important. Young people do go there and they do stay fit and they do have conversations.
I mean, quite a lot of kids from my childhood in my area, that was their release from their home life, which wasn't always great. I mean, or whatever it is, or from gangs or whatever in other areas of the country. So, it's so important. And then you're around people and bonding friendships. You have friendships for life. And it can change you as a person and help you out. And once you have a bond with somebody, you're never afraid to pick up the phone. You're never afraid to answer a call. You're never afraid to talk to someone about your issues. And with that, it keeps you sane.
I always hear the older generation talking about, in my day, there was a youth club, etc. Yeah. Well, the boxing clubs are youth clubs. Get down there. Not only are you keeping your body fit, you're keeping your mind fit. You're with like-minded people who are there to listen, there to help you on. The camaraderie in a boxing gym, although it's an individual sport, it's second to none. I'm telling you now, anyone that is struggling, get down a boxing gym, pick up the phone, talk to someone.
I gotta say though, you said older generation, but I used to go to youth clubs, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're in that
generation. How many times have fighters always said the trainers are like father figures?
Yeah.
Because they're not just talking to you about what you're doing, they're talking to you about life outside as well. You have a little chat beforehand, don't you?
Yeah, and the journey that you go on with that individual. There's blood, sweat and tears. There really are. It's a roller coaster. That the downs, there are no highs, and that's exactly what goes on in a boxing career.
And fighters, the older fighters above you look up to, and they sometimes, and they just rub you on the head or well done, mate. Or you boxing tomorrow, you are good luck, and they don't know you.
Yeah.
But what's that like? You're buzzing because he's won a British schoolboy title, or he's in the APAs or whatever, and you're thinking, you're looking up to people to look up to, people to inspire to be. All that. That's why it's so inclusive, everything about it. And from wherever you're from, your colour, your religion, all these mean nothing.
Absolutely.
In boxing gyms.
Yeah, it is fantastic. It's a great initiative, a great partnership as well. That's the Zone and the Corner Club. Make sure you get involved. Honestly, really try and speak to someone, get down to a gym, get fit and have a conversation. I mean, two things that you should want to do. Get fit and have a conversation. All right, we're wrapping up here. Eubank Jr. has done his workout, he's done his photos. He's just here now trying to avoid the 1,000 camera people that are trying to get a little word with him. We are now 3 sleeps away from the big one. We are talking about Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, and it will happen at that magnificent stadium, arguably the best stadium in the world, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tomorrow it is the press conference, and I have a feeling these boys are going to say some stuff to each other. See you tomorrow.
Live only on DAZN, November 15th. Eubank Jr. versus Benn 2. For over 3 decades, 2 names have been carved into British boxing legend, the Eubanks and the Benns. From the father's sequel in the 90s to the son's sequel today, The greatest rivalry British boxing has ever seen. Their first fight was a modern classic, a Fight of the Year contender in front of the entire nation with the world on the edge of their seats. And this November, it's the rematch. Chris Eubank Jr. looks to close the case once and for all, while Conor Benn looks for his revenge. The greatest families in boxing go to war once again on DAZN. Eubank Jr. versus Benn 2, November 15th. Watch only